Alrighty guys, as you can see, me and Nelly reunited. Woo! Woo! Today we have a very special episode.
Why is it special?
It's actually not that special as normal, but it is number 36. The only episode.
Oh my god, your age! Oh my god. Okay, keep going. Ouch, that hurt.
Well guys, we're on episode number 36. Do you think we could get to the 100th episode by December? Let me know.
Oh my god.
Our theme this time around is D words.
D words.
I actually don't know if it is. Our theme this time around is the devil.
What the heckness?
I actually don't know if it's that. They're actually kind of like random.
This is miscellaneous.
This is miscellaneous. That's why we're so random today. Also,
so random and quirky and different. And I don't like other girls. I'm just so petite and small. Like, I don't know. I never got along with girls. And like, guys are just so easy to like get along with.
Oh my god. You almost blew away in the wind. You're so small.
Oh my god.
There's no theme to this one, so I'm just gonna start reading. And I drink some water.
Yeah,
I don't know if you guys can tell.
We could tell.
So we're gonna get started. This one is called Alien, Ghosts, and D Words. Hola to you and your family. My name is Ajay and I'm from Canada. Since I'm an Indigenous person living in the far northern part of the country where it's practically rural, you guys know not to use that word with me.
What is that?
Rural.
Rural?
My family and I have quite a lot of stories based around the mythological in our culture, though in my opinion none of these are myths, nor are they just spooky stories told by our family to scare us into behaving. They're as real as the closest thing beside you.
Stop.
I don't want to explain too much into my family's history and such in case some things come back in the negative sense. But I will say this, my family hails from a long lineage of shamans and powerful people. At least one or two of us have some piece of magic that came from our ancestors and is still present in our lives. There are quite a ton, and I mean a ton of stories that my family carried from great, insert more great, grandfathers, mothers, and whatnot. Here's one of them. Though my uncle was present in this as it happened, it wasn't really that long ago either, I think. My mother recently told me and my younger sister this one almost a month ago because my sister was making inappropriate jokes about how she wanted to be a Wendigo.
What does that mean?
The asterisk is an N, put there to avoid having any negativity to latch onto anybody reading this. I said it. Whoops. We need some drama in the video.
No, we don't.
And this is how it goes. At least almost 20 to 30 plus years ago, one of my mother's cousins nearly turned into one. And she and my uncle says it's because of how he's always been neglected as a child by his family. And something evil had found him one day near a pond where he was playing in. And it began to live in him till he became an adult. He, mom's cousin, just stopped visiting one day after they finished playing poker the night before. And they haven't seen him for quite some time. My father comes in, says mom's cousin is acting very strangely in the woods where a cabin is held in. And explains he's taking large bundles of wood in different lengths and lining them up from smallest to biggest. I tried talking to him, but he didn't even take a look at me and instead kept his focus on the wood before him. It was like he was counting them, then left and brought back some more. He tells them, and once my uncle hears this, he immediately just gets up and left the house. Later, my uncle brings by a priest who was actually the same guy that baptized myself when I was a baby. Just had to make it about you, huh? What? Just kidding. And they go out into the woods to find him. They also bring another guy whom I forget, but he's stuck by my uncle and priest as they venture out. Once they find him, just counting and putting the wood down next to each other. The one thing that sticks to me as I think about the story was how she said that there was a large kettle just next to him. But it wasn't just any kettle. This kettle had damn legs. Actual walking legs. It followed him closely. And it also had a giant single eye that stared at each one of them as they came close. According to my uncle, who is still alive and well to this day, he says that mom's cousin also held a knife that had the same fleshy feature as the walking kettle. Single, large eye just staring at them. It wasn't decorative or anything either. It was just genuinely watching every move they did. Another thing he said about the knife was that it was covered in hair, though he didn't specify whether it was short, long, or what the exact color was. He just said that the handle had a fuzz to it, like my coo.
What the hell?
When they came closer, cousin opened his mouth and he let out this loud ass screech that caused everyone except my uncle to just topple over and lay in the dirt, completely paralyzed with fear. There was a rancid smell coming from one of the guys behind my uncle, and apparently the priest had It's not that funny. The priest had shit himself As he should. The priest had shit himself, in parentheses. As he should. I probably would have too. They go into this short fight. My uncle manages to fight the knife off of him, and he grabs it. Use the knife to stab the eye of the kettle, and they pretty much just melt into nothing. My uncle and the others take him back to the house and does this little ritual to help him, and he does. The cousin is still alive as well, and they still talk sometimes, and I'm not sure if he remembers this, and I've never asked out of respect, but all I know is that my uncle is some crazy motherfucker, and he scares me sometimes. Like I said before, something evil had lived inside him due to the fact that he's been neglected far too many times, and something bad pitied him. It wasn't until he became an adult that it broke him. It flourished in him the moment it stuck itself inside of him, till he became an adult where he was this close to becoming a creature that would have killed everyone in my hometown. I feel that if he managed to transform and murder every person where I live, it would have been ruled as a sickness had plagued us. Because if you looked up the W word, you would read something about how they eat human flesh, and they're skeleton thin because they haven't eaten, but that's somewhat false. They don't eat the flesh of another, they swallow the souls of people. And the reason why they're thin is because they don't get nutrients from the souls of people. They gain strength out of their inner beings. Every soul they swallow makes them stronger, but it wouldn't affect their bodies as it's only spiritual. And you might be wondering, Ajay, why was he collecting wood? Well, it's because he's using those to count whom he was going to kill. From the longest pieces, adults, to the medium pieces, young adults / teenagers, to the smallest, children / babies, and he lined them up like so. He was counting the wood as a placeholder to the people he planned on stealing the souls from. There is a rule in my family that no matter what, you mustn't neglect your children in any way, because there will always be something sinister that will take them in out of pity. Shout out all my middle children. There's a lot of stories like this, some experiences coming from members of my family and some myself. There are times where I want to write them all down, make a book that I can read to my future kids to keep our beliefs alive. I wrote this all down as quick as I could, so I might misremember stuff, and some parts might be not how it went off, but this is just an example on what freaking shit goes on in my family, and it's insane. We'll send more if I'm allowed to, and I'm glad to answer any questions in case y'all don't understand any part of the story or such. So stay safe and see y'all later. Ajay.
That's
what
crazy.
The freak? See, that's why I love when Fabi picks out the story. She picks out the craziest stories.
I thought it was AJ.
Guys, that story was crazy. I can't, bro.
Was crazy. I don't really get it. Like,
it's just one of those things. One of those like crazy lore stories. Hey, I see you checking your damn phone, bitch. You're making a video.
I swear to God.
No, you can't swear and actually check your
I didn't, guys.
That was a very good story. AJ, Ajay, thank you so much.
The scariest part was the priest shitting himself.
Bro, I would be so embarrassed. Like,
peeing yourself, I understand, but shitting is crazy.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm just gonna talk about this priest who would go like this. What? Y'all, I'm starting a new heart trend. Look at this. This is cute. It looks like it's a heart with trees around it. What if it's a gang sign?
I know.
Wait, how do you do the young people one? How do you do the young people one? Like this?
This. Hell no. If I saw you standing over me with black eyes, you're getting punched in the... I don't even know.
Girl, you wouldn't be able to punch me?
I would yell so
Go
loud.
punch me. Nice try, buddy. Hello, Monica. I'm Atara. Hi, Atara.
Hi, Tara.
I finally decided to share one of my stories I experienced when I was a kid. Just for some background, I was yet to be baptized when I experienced these things, so that might have had something to do with it. Or not. I'll let you decide that for yourself. My mom would tell me that as a kid, I would always be quiet and not move around as much as other kids. She would say that my tias and strangers would always compliment her on how well behaved I was, to the point where she thought I might have needed psychiatric help. But that's not important. Basically, she was really worried about me not communicating and interacting with people, and that I would only talk at night. She says that she would hear giggles and whispers coming from my shared room, thinking it was just my sister and I messing around, until she opened the door screaming at us to go to sleep, only to find my sister and I in a deep sleep with no sign of mischief.
Ew.
She let go of that incident thinking it was just the neighbors next door. However, at some point she says that I started to sleepwalk towards doors at night, trying to shake them open, and when I wasn't sleepwalking, I would scream or cry during my sleep. I don't remember ever doing that and think she just might be exaggerating, but one thing I do remember is something that marked me to this day. There was a point when I was young that I started to have constant sleep paralysis where I couldn't even move or scream for my sister for help. During sleep paralysis, I remember we would always sleep with the nightlight on, and I could clearly see a black foggy figure standing right in front of it. I vividly remember seeing it so human, since no light would go through the shadow figure. Following the days of constant sleep paralysis, the figure would always come closer, that I would cry during it all and close my eyes hoping to fall asleep. At some point, I ended up begging my parents to let me sleep with them. For that whole week of sleeping with my parents, I never saw the shadow again. A few years passed by, and I was at the ripe age of 7. And this is where the dreams started happening. In my dream, my family and I would be chained up to the couches in the living room with no clue on how or why we are there. But one thing for certain is that my grandpa was not there with us. Somehow I managed to escape the chains and went to look in our other house to see if he was there. But when I entered inside, I saw the walls engulfed in flames and a white table covered in blood with my grandpa laying on it all opened up. The scariest part was that among everything going on in the house, I saw a pure red man with horns and a tail. Exactly how Mexican loteria pictures it, presenting my grandpa like some sort of sacrifice. It was then that I woke up yelling, "El diablo se llevó a mi abuelo," earning me a hard smack from both my parents and a lesson to never speak of death for someone.
Oh my god.
Craziest part is that not even a few weeks later, we got a call from my tias and grandma telling us my grandfather has gone missing, and all that was left was signs of struggle with his gun on the floor. To this day, we have no clue where or what happened to my grandfather.
What was your grandpa doing?
But ever since that day, I was scheduled for a baptism and would meet the curandera for a couple of weeks. A couple of more dreams came to me before the day of my baptism where I would see a random warehouse, making me believe I could find clues about my grandfather's whereabouts there. But my baptism came quickly, and I kid you not, I felt chills when they poured the holy water down my head. Since then, I never got any nightmares or sleep paralysis again. Anyways, hope this reaches you well. I might submit more stories if I have the chance. Anyways, I'm a big fan of your content. Lots of love, Atara.
That's
Thank
crazy.
you, Atara. What the fuck? Damn, so the grandpa's just missing and they had like a premonition dream.
Did you tell them that? Did you tell them your dream? Like, what happened after
I mean, they
that?
woke up saying, "El diablo se llevó abuelo." Oh my god. That's so scary. Like, what the fuck would y'all do, bro? Thank you, Tara. That was actually really scary, and I hope you find out what happened to your grandpa.
Sorry they slapped you.
If you want me to slap him back, let me know. Hit me up. All right, let me practice on Nelly.
What?
Stories from Saudi Arabia. Black magic, in parentheses. Hi, Monica and all. I'm Sarah. Sarah, baddie, shot a clock. Baddie, shot a clock. It's work for us, Sarah. Hey.
Oh my god.
Hey. I'm so sorry, Sarah.
I swear that bush just moved over there.
Hi, Monica and all. You hear that?
Stop being scary asshole.
This is a story from my childhood house. Our house was already infested with all sorts of entities. We call them jinn, in parentheses, evil. But the main event is when one of my dad's work colleagues that pretended to be his friend used my dad for money through sihir, black magic. I'll refer to him as X. It started when X lost his job. He sent away his family to another city while he stayed at our house taking advantage of my kind dad. Then he began to trick our dad by claiming him to be a man of God with gifts. He told my dad that our family is suffering from evil eye and that we are all getting sick. Little did we know that he was doing the black magic on us.
What the freak?
Then he told my dad that he can cure us for a price. Little by little, he started taking a lot of money to the point that my dad had to make a loan to give him. And the way that we believed we were sick is because he has sent each of our family members a jinn to disturb us. I will now describe the details of each jinn. First is my dad's. He would often wake up to a giant figure standing by his feet that he can't see its face, but it had a long singular fang that would reach the floor and it would stare at my dad for hours.
What?
Second was my mom's, and it was a little blue infant baby that would climb into my mom and dad's bed and crawl between them.
Ew.
And for my older brother, he used to see a floating woman in the corridor with long black hair, and her tits were so big.
Wait. Oh no, don't send me one like that one. Please. Stop. No. Go.
And her titties were so big and long that she would flung them behind her. She would flung them behind her back.
Oh my god. What an interest. Do they make them up or like what?
Guys, I don't get it. Somebody draw it, please, because I can't.
Somebody please recreate it. Send us the video.
Wattpad? Like, just like so we know, like what Wattpad just okay.
What?
Her were so big and long that she would flung them behind her back. And as for my oldest sister, she used to have a short cloaked green Ginny with a stick in his hand that would stare at her. And anytime she would try to fall asleep, he kicks the ground with his stick. And for my middle sister, she saw 3 little girls. The taller one was running and telling the other 2 girls to hurry up. And she ran through my sister, who was standing in the hallway, and went through a closed door. Then the other 2 followed her, holding hands, yelling, "Wait!" As for me, I had trouble sleeping in my room because I always saw a long-haired man outside my window repeating my name so fast, and it scared me to death. Sarah, Sarah, Sarah.
Stop.
I'm just trying to. Damn. Sarah, Sarah, Sarah.
Stop.
Okay. Okay. Sarah, Sarah, Sarah.
Stop.
Okay. Sarah, Sarah. Sarah.
Stop.
Okay.
I'm gonna leave you here by yourself.
No. Okay. All of them. All of them were nagging us to the point we had to ask X to help us, which was his plan from the beginning. So he used to write gibberish, spells on a piece of paper, then fill it up with stuff I don't know what it is. It looked like dirt. Then he would wrap it into incense. X would tell us to put it on a fire and breathe it in under a blanket, and that this was supposed to keep away the jinn, and it smelled so revolting. After that, the jinn did really go away for a while, but then we started getting restless, and suddenly we began to crave the incense that he made. Even the youngest of us, which X made us pay money for it.
What the freak?
And it wasn't cheap. And you might ask yourself, how did we ever know about his schemes? It's because a year later, he fled to the city and left a note for my dad apologizing and asking for forgiveness, telling him that he did a black magic on us, and told him where he hid it. It was in a hole behind my mom and dad's wardrobe. It was a large, wrapped paper that my dad opened it and was filled with hair, bones, and pieces of nails. The paper had strange symbols and writings and her names on it in a large circle. Also, he left a note for my mom telling her that she will have a child that would get the same sickness that my grandfather died of. 2 years later, my mom had a baby boy that got cancer at 9 months old. My brother's now 19 and he's well and sound. Well, that's good.
That's crazy.
Thanks for reading my story. I have a lot more stories if you'd like to read. What the freak?
The jinn thing is crazy though.
Yeah.
Some people are scared like that. Like they just tell you shit just to keep getting money from you.
That's what I'm saying, y'all.
Gunika.
Sarah.
Stop!
Thank you for that story. That's actually very interesting and very scary, and I'm very sorry that happened to you and your family.
Yes, I'm so sorry that happened to you and your family. I was really scared about the part where the long-haired man kept saying your name like that. That's actually really scary. Like, how do you even survive after that? Like, I would just sleep in the same room as everybody for the rest of my life if that had ever happened to me. So you're strong.
Ooh, be very aware, guys, of TikTok psychics. I got a message the other day from a TikTok psychic. I'm not gonna say their name, but it says, "Love and light to you," right? I don't know this person, never interacted with them. I'm a bit confused with something. That's why it took me a while. I seem nervous or scared, unsure what to do about how to move on. You've been debating something. A move? Go forward in your decision. You need to be independent on your own. Change is hard, even scary, but you need to have confidence in yourself and you will be fine. I feel like you're having problems with family or someone close to you. Have known for a long time that makes you feel unhappy.
She's saying the most general shit in the world.
With what you're seeing around you, and you're having some disappointment from those 2 trusted most in your life, which made you fed up. And you also have someone in heaven that misses you. Are these true love? That is the most generic ass shit you could send somebody.
Almost copy and paste that shit, ho.
Don't believe these people on the internet, guys.
Yeah, you guys are scary if you do. Please don't.
I did not know the lyrics.
Thank you so much for watching, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Your stories were amazing.
She's so fake, bro. Thank you guys for all your stories. I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart.
We really appreciate all of you. Thank you for being here at Scary Stories number 36.
Number 36, guys. That's actually kind of a little bit.
No, it's not. That's a lot of stories.
Maybe we could get to 50.
Plus, you read like 4 stories a video. So that's a lot of stories. So 4 divided by 35 is like what? 0, 4, 12, 120 stories?
120. That's a lot of stories, actually.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Thank you.